Well, I've embarrassed Freitas big time. I didn't embarrass Judge Hara, because he was actually civil to me. I've embarrassed Takasi, obviously, so now they give me Vandegar. And Judge Vandegar, what does she do? Not act like a brand new judge, as you'll see. She's obviously knows my case, she's obviously looking to just get an extension, she's obviously familiar and looking to screw me over. There's nothing fair and impartial about it, there's no presumption of innocence, there's no respect for human dignity, there's no respect for due process, there's no respect for an informed pleas, there's no respect for being able to enter a verbal motion. They make it so you always have to do written ones so that you can write something down so that they can shoot it down so that they have a legitimate reason to deny you instead of they won't have a legitimate reason to do it on the record verbally. Why? Because they can't think this fast, they can't speak this fast, they can't work on the fly this fast, and this is why I kick their ass in the courtroom, because I can, and I talk this fast, and that's slower than I can think. If you're someone who has believed in the Constitution, please consider not believing in it anymore. Okay? Go listen to some, go read some Lysander Spooner, The Constitution of No Authority. Okay? This Constitution is worthless. Stop calling on it. Stop using it. Stop being a constitutionalist. It is a hustle of a document. And when you use it, you are saying, I'm only smart enough to see the roses, but I'm not smart enough to see the hustle. It is a hustle. And if you knew legalese, you would know that. You would recognize it. But if you don't know legalese, then you won't recognize it. The Constitution is garbage. This country is not a free one. These judges are criminals and deserve to be jailed, and we're all pussies. It hasn't happened yet. Hello YouTube, Copwatch Hawaii, 7:23 p.m. local, April 11, 2016. I was in court today. I make videos about court. Might as well post my own, analyze them. This one's going to be hilarious, but if I were to just post this and commentary, yeah, it would make some points, but you wouldn't have any idea the context or where to start. So let me provide some quick, brief, concise, and hopefully entertaining, even if it's at my own expense, context, so that you'll have a picture. It goes something like this. A year ago, oh, by the way, I'm suing these people, the entire state of Hawaii government, and the county, and the judges, and everything, right? In federal court this summer. So, because of that reason, there's a lot I can't say. I have to automatically say, you know, commentaries of my own recordings are going to be quite limited because I have somewhat different tactics because of the unique things about my situation and the directions that I'm taking it that cause me to say certain things and not say certain things in certain times that I normally wouldn't do and would go against, but because of the certain tactics I'm using, I don't. And I can't explain that on the fly when it happens in this hearing. Do you see what I'm saying? Because my opposition obviously listens to this, and they could just know what I'm planning on and know exactly how I see everything. So I can't give my own personal opinion. I'm coming with new things every hearing. Every hearing I'm outside the box, reaching and probing for what's effective and what's going to work, always with the jury in mind. Always. So with that preface, it goes something like this. You know, I have 3 open cases. This third one was the case that started this whole thing. If I would have never gotten arrested for this third one, this channel would not exist. I would not know what I know about law. This third one was a blessing in disguise. I am insanely glad that I got arrested for this. Otherwise, I would have been one of those people where it just never affected them directly, and they thought, F the world, as long as I can keep my nose clean, I don't have to deal with this crap. And instead, I didn't realize just the extent, if I would have known then, the extent of the hustle and the nature of the corruption and the predation of the government upon the people of this country, I would have done something about it. But I never would have found that out unless I got arrested, so it was a real blessing in disguise. And I think a lot of people who get arrested for the first time look back on that event in their lives when they're old, on a rocking chair, you know what I mean? And look back at it how I'm looking back on it. You know, if it introduces Plato, Socrates, logic, ethics, actual reality, skepticism, you know, into their lives so that they can defend themselves and hopefully get some solidarity and unity going on. So what happened was, there's a lot of details I can't say. I was charged with the cultivation of 17 plants and just under a pound of cannabis and some paraphernalia. in a house raid. Someone narked on me, a guy named Jeff Ionethos and Shalia LaPlante or some other hippie made-up name. They don't live on the Big Island anymore, they bounced, but they have a YouTube channel. They're like Twin Flames, something or other. They try and peddle woo via, I don't know what the hell it is, but that's the guy that got me sanctioned too, so I can only put these videos on 15 minutes. So I got another, like, what, 5 months or 4.5 months of that? Anyway. Oh, by the way, my other alternate channel I'm putting longer videos on is called Hilo Courthouse. Hilo, H-I-L-O, Courthouse, one word. And on there I have some more training videos, but they're not limited to 15 minutes. And they're freaking gold, and I wasn't even the one that gives them. So they're just mostly from the people I learned this stuff from. Why would you listen to me if you could listen to the people who I learned from? Alright, so the context for this case. So I didn't know anything. I didn't know a damn thing. And, you know, I was, obviously they took like $5,000 worth of stuff and turn your place upside down. You know, it took me 3 days to clean it up. I've got a video of it, the condition it was in, and I'll never forget or forgive them for it, and I will get them back for it one way or another. But of course that'll all be peaceful and lawful, right? Ching, haha. Alright. Yeah, so I'm not ever gonna forget that. Or the judges that signed the warrant, which are both Freitas and Takasi. You know, little sidebar here, okay? Sidebar. I hope this country crumbles in 10 to 20 years or something like that, because these records are forever. And these judges, their actions, they're going to be forever. And I'm guessing that their power is going to come to a screeching halt. And they're not going to know due process. They're going to know what theft is, and they're going to know what asset forfeiture is, and they're going to know what wrongful imprisonment is. Because it's going to be a lot longer than probably should be. If this country falls, their power falls with it. And they had better bounce and go back to Japan, wherever most of these corrupt fucks came from. It's disgusting. I went into court today and had to sit through 2.5 hours before my turn. Of course, I'm dead last, and of course everybody's done, so the courtroom's empty by then, right? That's just how they like it when I'm on the mic. Yeah. Nothing but brown people and white people of various shades. Nothing. No Japanese defendants whatsoever. Japanese lawyers and judges and doctors and politicians, oh plenty. And this is not new news. This is a racist issue that's been going back decades and decades, and kids been fighting over it forever and ever and ever, and I'm just a newcomer on the scene, right? I'm not claiming to, like, be new or have any stake in it other than the equality versus domination subjugation. That's all it is. So I'm anti-Japanese bureaucrat, and I'm pro-Japanese regular human being. It's just as clear as that. And I'm anti any bureaucrat, no matter what color you are. And this time, it's a judge I've never seen before called Judge Vandegar. A woman who's a new judge, probably been a judge less than a year, and her husband's been a long-time judge here. So it's a married judge couple. Can you imagine the level of disgusting in that marriage? Just the disgusting. I mean, it's like living on blood money. Except it's theft money, it's oppression money, it's class warfare money. I'm sure they got a big house and nice property, and they think they're the king shit because both of them are judges, you know? That's probably what's up. I heard her do nothing but read scripts. That's all she did, was read scripts and accept uninformed pleas from people who didn't know any better. But it just leaves, you know, a little sick taste in your mouth, like always. So, back to my story, alright? Enough with the sidetracks. So I get, I don't know anything about law. So I take my, I just got taken for $5,000. I'm not gonna spend another $5,000 on a lawyer. It's not gonna happen, right? If I had 50,000 sitting in a front pocket, I wouldn't put $5,000 on a lawyer here. So let's just put it that way. So I take their public defender. Didn't know any better, but so it's just like, yeah, not guilty sounds good. While I was recording him, right? Because he was lying to me and being very unethical, and I knew it. And he's full of shit. Thought I was stupid. So I recorded him, turned him in, got him sanctioned. He got thrown off the case, and they gave me Damir Kuliev, who is a court-appointed attorney. Now, at the time, I was not using the jurisdictional issue once I learned it because I wanted to go to a jury. So I had one other open case at the time, so I was experimenting one way with one way with the other. And this is where I kind of can't get too much into the current or the future, because obviously I'm starting to talk strategy and tactics, but basically, I was trying to go to a jury trial with the 420 case and show the jury. I was going to get the jury nullification, I was going to bring up the jurisdictional issue. I'm still going to, and it's no surprise to them to hear me say that. So that was the game plan. So in order to do that, I had to jump through a bunch of hoops, according to them, otherwise they wouldn't allow it. And one of those was, it was just one thing after another. Finally get rid of the old public defender, finally get on with the new one, and then I had to go pro se, get him off me. They fraudulently said, oh yeah, he's your full lawyer. I said, no, I always wanted him to be in my standby counsel. And another couple of hearings, okay, fine, he's your standby counsel. And then Damir Kuliev, once he found out that I was going for the jurisdictional issue, at that point, once he knew I was making YouTubes and recording people and recording lawyers and making YouTubes, he just wouldn't have anything to do with me, smartly. So we went back and forth on text, I believe it was, or email, I can't remember. It's in my phone or my email, so I'll get it. But I was basically saying, okay, so when do you want to meet? Let's make an appointment. And he wouldn't. He absolutely refused. And a lawyer refuses by answering your question with another question or another suggestion, but he doesn't answer it. He absolutely would refuse to see me as an appointment in person. He refused to talk to me on the phone. He said he would only speak to me in email, and when I started speaking to him in email, he would only answer about 1 out of 4 to 1 out of 10 questions. I would ask him 10 questions, he'd answer 3 and call it good. I mean, it was beyond ridiculous. He just wouldn't. He wasn't say flat out, no, I won't help you, but he just wouldn't do it. And then he just wouldn't respond. Then he just wouldn't answer a call. Like, I haven't had help from Damir Kuliev, and I don't even know how freaking long it's been. But I've never met with him in his office once. Have I called him? Maybe early on, but not in 4 or 5 months. I mean, that's to the best of my memory. It's been forever. I've just been totally cool with it because I don't need an attorney. I have him tagged along for reasons that I can't mention here because it has to do with my strategy, and I can't mention that here. So just know that if something doesn't make sense, don't ask me about it, and just deal. So, not that it's a big deal. So, so all this time, that's been. Oh, then I went up to circuit court. Right, they were originally charging me with, a more serious misdemeanor with a year in jail and $33,000 fine. I go up to circuit court because I got to make sure I'm, whatever they call it, competent to stand trials pro se. Like you don't already have. They're supposed to give you a right to a jury trial, right? These people were trying to say, no. You have to have our permission to make sure you're smart enough to be able to be your own lawyer if you want to go to jury trial. Okay? And so I was like, geez, there was no other way to get a jury trial. There was no other way to get my right to a jury trial except to jump through this hoop. I tried, and they wouldn't let me, so I started jumping through the hoop. Well, they made me go to one hearing in a circuit court, and all they did was always make me last, and then delay, ask stupid questions. I would answer them. It would go on for like 25 minutes, and then he'd say, oh, sorry, we ran out of time. We're going to have to reschedule. I went to the second one. Again, put me at the end, ask me stupid questions, delay, and just personal questions. What's your education? What's your background? They were asking me so many personal questions, I only answered about 2/3 of them, maybe. I told them I'm not going to answer about 1/3 of them. Because, you don't need to know what high school I went to and where it is. You don't need to know that. So they're just trying to gauge, how educated, how smart is this guy? Does he have any weak links? How can we probe him? How bad can he hurt us? It was nothing but a probe of the enemy line by gang members in black robes. That's all those Dixon colloquies were. They're all in my videos, back in the history, whatever. And that's all they were. They were a complete waste of time. So the reason that what came from that was they must have determined, oh shit, we don't want to face this guy pro se, no legal training, not a day of law in his life. We don't want, our trained prosecutor's office does not want to take him on in a jury trial because